Hello, everybody. Welcome into Fox 10 Talk Sports Pregame. Robby Baker, joined as always, Blake Niemann, back in the wonderful streaming studios here at Fox 10. Not in the RV this week. Last year we took the show on the road in the Sun City RV, courtesy of Richard Sines, out at Territorial Cup game. But now back inside our normal green screen studio situation here. Everywhere in this building is freezing. It is like 110 degrees in here.
It's our first show of December, so it's only fitting that it's cold.
But the studio is hot.
Oh.
It feels kind of warm. Does it not feel warm to you in here?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Maybe I'm the only one maybe I just got such red hot takes I'm ready to unleash here. That's where the heat is coming from. We'll start here talking. We will get to ASU football. We're kind of going to inverse things a little bit this week because there's no ASU game immediately coming up. We'll kind of project where they could be going in their bowl in the second half of our show here. But we're going to start with the big news today, potentially one of the biggest stories across the National Football League as we head into the offseason, and that being Kyler Murray. This is not necessarily a shock today because Kyler Murray has been on injured reserve for most of the season, but we did find out today, courtesy of head coach Jonathan Gannon, that Kyler Murray is not coming back this year. He is not going to be activated off of injured reserve. They're not going to open his practice window. Basically, Coach Gannon said that Kyler had a second opinion, went out of state somewhere. He said for the second opinion, the injury has not progressed as either side had hoped, and it's just better for Kyler to continue kind of focusing on himself and getting healthy at this point for him. I will also note it's a foot injury, I believe is what we know. We still don't entirely know what the injury is. We have a feeling it happened on the play against Tennessee where the snap hit him in the face, but we still don't have any necessarily confirmation that is actually when it happened. A lot of smoke and mirrors in this stuff, but that's just the world of injuries in the NFL. I know you hate speculating and prognosticating, but that is kind of the space we are in here. So I will answer the same question. I'm not just going to put you on the spot because I will answer it as well, but we'll start with you, Blake, because I've already talked enough here. Have we seen the end of Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals?
I think if you're going to make a projection, I feel like at this point it's more likely that he is not with the Cardinals next season than he is with the Cardinals next season. I mean, just I was talking about people with this the other day because I feel like the general consensus among Cardinal fans that I've spoken to is that they don't really like Kyler Murray anymore. They don't necessarily want him as their franchise quarterback. There's some mixed opinions out there, but I feel like, in my opinion, when a franchise quarterback has lost the fan base, then it's time to move on. And I feel like just from general seeing stuff on social media in response to Kyler Murray when he struggled, it seems like the general consensus has been that, from the fan base at least, that they don't want Kyler Murray as their quarterback anymore and they're ready to move on. Yes, that's easier said than done when you don't have money tied up, but I feel like he's nearing the end of his guarantees on his contract. I don't have the actual data for that right now. But
yeah, I have it pulled up here.
Okay.
He's the guarantees. So his base salary for the next 2 years. Next year, his base salary is $22.8 million, and then 2027 is $19.5 million. That's the base salary. Next year, he will get the last $3.5 million of his signing bonus still. So that would be, I don't know how the guarantees work, but next year is the last payment of his signing bonus. But the way that the contract is structured as well, it's weird how they structure these things. So next year for Kyler Murray, he's scheduled to make $22.8 million in base salary, and then he's also scheduled to make a $17 million roster bonus next year. And then there are also incentives as well, like a $1.8 million workout bonus for the optional workouts that he attends throughout the year and things of that nature. So I'm trying to find the full cash value. So next year, if you count his bonuses and the base salary and the roster bonuses and all that stuff, next year Kyler Murray is scheduled to make $53 million next year, according to Spot Track. Wow. If you add everything up, that would be 17% of the Cardinals or whatever team that would take him on. That would be 17% of the current salary cap. That would be the highest of his extension. He made $49 million with all the bonuses in his first year of the extension in 24. He's making $43 million this year. Next year would be $53 million. In 2027 would be $43 million. And then after 2027 is when there is kind of the potential out, because 28 is a club option that a team could pick up. So that's kind of where the money situation is with Kyler. I don't entirely know, and it gets so tricky when you get into like when a trade has happened, when a player is released, dead cap space, the roster bonus may be able to be stretched. There's so much ins and outs of that stuff.
That's where I'm just like, I feel like the bigger question is not even if Kyler Murray going to be an Arizona Cardinal next season, but what team, if he's not, is going to be willing to take on that money in that contract.
I honestly think it's going to be interesting to see if a team does want to trade for him. Because to me, there are two that come immediately to mind, and probably the top of the list that I think everyone's going to speculate about is the Minnesota Vikings. Because they did invest a first-round pick in J.J. McCarthy, 9, when he steps on the field, his alter ego. I think I don't know if J.J. McCarthy is going to be a good NFL quarterback. He has not been a good NFL quarterback this year. He missed his rookie season with an injury, and this season is not gone according to plan. Justin Jefferson has like 400 yards and 2 touchdowns this year, and Justin Jefferson is one of the best receivers in the league. They just can't get him the ball.
It looks whack it looks so bad now that they moved on from Sam Darnold.
Oh my gosh, who would have thought?
The way he's played in Seattle, and I was confused when they made that move initially, like not to get too far off track, but Seattle's one of the best teams in football. Minnesota was one of the best teams in football with Sam Darnold, and then you just let him go. That's a conversation for a different day. But I think the consensus from at least conversations in the sports office with you guys, and you guys have covered Kyler Murray far longer than I have, but it seems like the need to play in an indoor stadium is a significant factor.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you can make that argument for almost any quarterback other than Josh Allen nowadays. I mean, and most of these teams, even you look at the Bills and what they're building, and the Chiefs and Arrowhead, the renovations that they want to do. Every team wants to have some type of a dome, some type of a covering, because they want to have a Super Bowl. And if they never would probably admit it, but the NFL wants every game probably to be played in ideal playing conditions, and then you have more points and more scoring and fantasy football and gambling and all that stuff. Minnesota seems like it would be a good fit, hypothetically, for Kyler Murray, because Kevin O'Connell is an incredible offensive mind. He has experience. We've seen him now with kind of revitalizing Sam Darnold's career. He has experience working with quarterbacks, developing, and he comes from the Sean McVay tree, so it's an offense that has had a lot of success in the NFL, whether it be with the Rams or the Vikings. So Minnesota would be a name to watch. I also wonder what the Falcons would be doing this offseason, because is Michael Penix the guy? He hasn't looked great. He's hurt now. He hasn't looked great, maybe. But the blueprint and the reason that it may not even be a trade is if you look what the Denver Broncos decided to do with Russell Wilson. When they gave Russell Wilson, they made the that's Blake, sorry. Hey, there I am. They gave Russell Wilson the huge. They traded, a ton of picks to Seattle to get Russell Wilson. They gave him an astronomical extension, and basically, I think it was 2 years in, they just decided, well, we got Sean Payton. Okay, that still didn't work. We're just going to cut bait. They just cut him, and they just ate the salary cap hit. It was like $100 million or something. They spread it over a couple years, and they got lucky. They drafted Bo Nix. They got lucky it worked out, because you don't have to pay Bo Nix. They're basically paying Russell Wilson, but they're not paying Bo Nix because of the rookie salary structure. That fair. May be the path forward, too.
But here's the thing, is the Broncos are owned by owners who own, like, Walmart and, like, all these big companies.
That is also correct.
And the Cardinals, sorry to break it to you, Cardinal fans, don't got that kind of deep pockets.
No, and that's
like they don't have that kind of money to just eat that kind of salary.
That's it would be a lot of dead money. And again, I don't even have all the answers when you start talking. Oh, by the way, hi Mark Zemrick, thank you for watching. I don't even understand all the intricacies of the dead money and the cap hits and this and there is so much smoke and mirrors when it comes to all that stuff and how teams maneuver the salary cap. I mean, some teams even have entire departments that is their job to figure out how to get them the salaries under the salary cap. It's crazy how it all works. So I don't know. Part of that was a lot of talk of when the extension for Kyler Murray was happening, is because there is a certain percentage, or whether it's the bonus, some part of it has to be put in escrow and set aside so that the money is there. And so a lot of the bonus is a lot of the bonuses and stuff have been paid. I mean, the majority of Kyler Murray's the chunk of his extension was paid as a signing bonus. There's nothing to scoff at making $53 million last year. I'd be happy to make that next year. But if he was released and how all that would payments and stuff, I don't know how much the Cardinals would be on the hook. If you're the Cardinals, you probably want to trade him. because then you get as
for
much
sure.
as you can. And even if it's not, if it's a couple
It's
picks
just finding
back or
a
something.
suitable trader. And so you said a suitable trader could also be a Raider. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of spitting there.
Oh, hey, whoa, hey, let's go. Let's hear it.
Look, I mean, the Las Vegas Raiders have been abysmal this year.
They're another team too. Yeah.
Like Geno Smith has not been able to get it done. It's been a rough stretch for Pete Carroll in his first season with the Raiders. But, maybe to ignite that fan base, get a new franchise quarterback in there. Just depends if the Raiders are willing to spend that kind of money or if they want to go into the draft and potentially draft a quarterback. I don't know what the Raiders are looking at to do there, but that could be also another landing destination. Kyler Murray, desert to desert, like that could be a good fit.
Yeah.
So that could be another option. Arizona to Minnesota, that would be a brutal move just from like a lifestyle standpoint.
Very cold. Very cold. It's worth noting Kyler Murray from Texas. College at you stop at Texas A&M, but obviously his Heisman year at Oklahoma, and then in the desert. So Kyler Murray never really had to deal with sub-zero temperatures in the Minnesota snow.
No.
If that would be the ultimate landing spot, it would not be ideal for me. I would freeze. It's only fair because I did say I put you on the spot that I would answer to. No, this is not a knock on Kyler Murray. I don't mean this to be a hot take, but I agree. I do think we have seen the end of Kyler Murray leading the Arizona Cardinals, partially because you mentioned the fan base. I just don't know what the path forward is for a lot of things with the Cardinals right now. I don't know what the path forward is if they decide to bring Kyler back again, because you can keep telling everybody, as this staff has from day one, that Kyler is the guy. Kyler is the franchise quarterback. He's going to lead us to a Super Bowl. I just don't think, to your point, the fans are buying it anymore.
No.
And they also are going to enter an offseason. There's a chance that this is a 3 or 4 win football team for the third straight year. And this is going to be an offseason then where you're also trying to sell the fan base on either a new coaching staff and we're rebuilding everything again, or, in my opinion, it may even be harder to try to sell the fan base on, we're running it back again. This was just a bad year with injuries, because injuries did not affect the San Francisco 49ers. They've been more banged up than the Cardinals all season, and they have 9 wins and are tied for first place in the division. So the PR department at the Cardinals are going to have the work cut out for them.
Yeah, they certainly are. I know we got to go to break here in a second, so I think you're right. I think this is probably the last we've seen of Kyler Murray in a Cardinals uniform.
So that's kind of our Cardinal talk. They play the Rams tomorrow. There's no reason to do predictions. The Rams are probably going to win this game.
The Rams are one of the best teams in football.
Favorites.
I think the Rams are going to win.
Yeah, so Rams over Cardinals, there's our prediction. We come back after the quick break here. We're going to talk ASU, where they could be going bowling. 12 players were honored with Big 12 honors yesterday who could be potentially leaving for the draft. Welcome back in. Fox 10 Talk Sports pregame. Robby Baker, Blake Niemann. If you are in the chat, say hi. We like to talk to everybody who's watching us on the YouTube stream. Now is the ASU portion of the program. Programming notes, shout-outs that we should just give before we dive into football. The ASU men's basketball team coming off an incredible run at the Maui Invitational. They're 6-2. Maui Mo. Yes, Mo Odom has been great as the point guard this year. Bobby Hurley's men will take on Oklahoma, the Sooners tomorrow at Mortgage Matchup Center in the Jerry Colangelo Classic, nationally televised game on CBS Sports Network, I think, or something.
I don't know.
It's on TV.
Just know it's in downtown. If it's in downtown Phoenix at the Suns Arena,
that's a another big.
I'd recommend going.
Big time non-conference.
If you can stay up past 9 p.m. on a Saturday night, then
8:00 tip off. So yeah, you'd be.
Oh, it's 8:00.
Yeah, you'd be home by 11:15, depending on where you live, how fast you want to drive on the highway. So that's the men's team. The women's basketball team in action tonight and tomorrow in the Brienne January Classic at Mullet Arena. And if the Sun Devils can win both of these games, it will surpass the best start in program history. If I do my math right, they would be 11-0.
Well, so they have to win today and then tomorrow. They'll match it if they win tonight at 9-0.
Tomorrow, 10-0 would be the best ever. Yeah. So shout out Molly Miller.
Yeah, Molly Miller.
Molly Miller doing her thing. Also, please watch ASU All Access every week, but also especially tonight because it's switching from Sunday to tonight. So tonight at 10:30, ASU All Access. Blake Niemann mic'd up Molly Miller for an entire home game. Must-watch television.
It's really must watch. It's super entertaining. Like one of the best mic'd up you could probably ever have.
Yeah. Oh, Molly Miller's the best. But I've watched it like 4 times, and each time I find something else a little fun in it. You know, it's great. And then you'll be heading over.
Yeah, appreciate Molly letting us do that.
Oh, absolutely. What other division? We've said this so many times. One other Division I program makes their athletic director available so much. What other Big 12 program, men's or women's basketball, says, yeah, mic me up for the pregame. You were in the locker room before the pregame speech, the postgame speech, the halftime huddle, the coaches' huddles. We're talking All Access.
It's called ASU All Access for a reason, folks.
We are 100% the namesake this week. And then the last thing we should give a shout out before we get to football is the volleyball team.
Yes.
You were there last night. Clean sweep, 3 straight sets of Coppin State.
Utah State tonight?
Yeah, Coppin State was never in that match yesterday.
Yeah, that was like David versus Goliath.
Yes,
so.
And David took care of business. Naomi Glover, 14 kills. Kobe Neal, I think, had 11 kills. They totally outmatched Coppin State. This is the spot that ASU was in last year, hosting a second-round matchup with Texas A&M, and ASU got upset last year.
J.J. Van Neal mentioned it last night.
He did. He's in the back of his mind.
It's back of his mind. He remembered that. He's not reminding his players of that, but that definitely has eaten at him. I mean, this is a guy who has led ASU to back-to-back conference championships, back-to-back Coach of the Year, and now it's his shot to get the team to the Sweet 16. They beat Penn State early on in the season, so this is really a chance to establish ASU. He's already established them as one of the best teams in the Big 12, the best team in the Big 12 over the past couple of years. Now it's time to raise that national standard and establish themselves as one of the best teams in the country.
And that to get to the Sweet 16, they got to go through Utah State tonight. Utah State upset Tennessee yesterday, so this is no slouch in Utah State.
No.
However, if you were to predict ahead of time and say, who would you like to play in the second round, ASU probably would have said, we'd rather have Utah State than Tennessee. So we'll see what happens tonight, 6 o'clock at Desert Financial Arena. Blake will be over there for that. We'll have highlights of that match later tonight. Let's talk some football here.
Let's do it.
Sun Devil football ending the season with a tough loss to Arizona.
Yes.
But the message afterward was spot on from Kenny, all of the players. Obviously, the loss is no good. Everybody feels icky about it. All Sun Devil fans, feel icky about it. The Territorial Cup goes back to the school down south. But there's an opportunity here in this upcoming bowl game. We'll find out where they're going this weekend. Bowling, I should say. If the Sun Devils win that bowl game, it's 20 wins in a 2-year span, something that Kenny said he doesn't think has happened in the last 20 or 30 years with this program. It's the history of ASU football is up and down, up and down. It's up. It's going up. This year a little plateaued a little bit with the injuries and stuff, but the trajectory is undoubtedly still going in the right direction. And this team still, it's not a Big 12 championship season. It's not a college football playoff season, but there is still a huge accomplishment ahead of them if they can win whatever bowl game they're selected to go to.
I mean, to take into account, and this is what Kenny Dillingham said in his post-game press conference, I asked him, like, how do you put this season in perspective? And he started right off the bat by saying that, look, losing to U of A sucks. Now I'm going to have to go around town, and everyone's going to have to tell me how much we suck. Like all the U of A fans get to pick on Kenny Dillingham. Like, he's like, I'm from here. Like, that stinks to have to go around and people, point out that we lost to U of A. But to put things into a broader perspective, and he took in the bigger picture, like, guys who came here, like the senior class of 28 seniors. That's a lot.
It was a very long senior day.
Very long senior day.
It makes sense when you think of what happened last year. Those guys were a lot of juniors and sophomores that transferred in that had only a little eligibility left.
Exactly. The majority of those seniors came here either coming off the 3-9 sanctioned season where Sean Aguano, interim head coach, fill in for Herm Edwards ahead of Kenny Dillingham's first season, or came after ASU went 3-9 in Kenny Dillingham's first season. Regardless, most of the players a part of that class came here when ASU was 3-9, one way or another. Sleeping program, dead in the water, and helped revive this thing into a championship program, national buzz, turned Cam Scatterbo into now literally a global icon. Kenny Dillingham is now one of the most sought-after coaches in college football.
And he's staying. He's not leaving.
And he's staying here because he's from here. This has been his dream job forever, and now he has it, and he has the program, as you said, continuing to move in a positive direction. ASU sold out every single game at home this season. That is an unbelievable accomplishment, something that hasn't been achieved, I believe, since the 1973 I saw. It's been a very long time.
Since Frank Kush. I think it's safe to say since Frank Kush.
It's been incredibly long time. And that just speaks to everything that Kenny Dillingham preached in that introductory press conference. Activate the Valley, have more fun working harder than anybody in the country. Like, that has taken shape. And like, despite the injuries and everything this season, despite Sam Levitt going down, the 2 home games Jeff Sims started, they were still sellouts. ASU sold out West Virginia. ASU sold out against U of A. Like, even through all of that, like, that is incredibly remarkable and just shows what is happening right now. And especially like with the other team that's in town right now, the Arizona Cardinals, kind of like what's going on there. No one really knows what the path is forward there. It seems like path is kind of trending backward or sideways, or we don't, there's
diagonal.
It's really not clear what the path is, but people can see, football fans in the Valley can see right now that Kenny Dillingham has a clear vision for this program, and wanting to make this program a program that is a full-on college experience, that develops players, gets them to the NFL, as he's shown with Cam Scatterbo, as soon will show with Jordan Tyson, and helps them be good people. Like, ASU's players are good people, kind and caring, and there's just something really good happening. And it just seems like it's, despite everything that happened this season, I feel like ASU fans, they don't feel great, they don't feel bad, they just kind of feel like it's a good progression going forward.
It is remarkable that this team, and this is what Keith Abney told us after the U of A loss. It's remarkable that just a few years ago this team was 3-9, and it was. I don't think it's unfair to say it was kind of an afterthought. It was just, all right, they went 3-9. We'll see. They're going to go transfer portal. We'll see what happens the next year. Then obviously they pop and go to the playoff. It's remarkable that just 2 years later, 8-4, the fan base isn't mad, and they're not carrying their proverbial pitchforks, but the fan base and the team is like, shoot, 8-4, it's not good enough. That's, which, to Kenny's point as well, after the game a couple of years ago, 8-4, people would have been jumping off, throwing a parade. 8-4, that's great. So that just also goes to show how far this program has come, and the expectations now of keeping that trajectory. Trajectory. That is a word. That's all the weird.
I remember the vibe after ASU beat Oklahoma State in 2024, clinching bowl eligibility. The fan base was on fire. The fact that ASU had 6 wins, doubled their win total, the fans were ecstatic. And so if ASU even would have won just like 6 games last year instead of winning the Big 12 championship, the fans would have still...
Well, they would have doubled their wins.
The fans would have still been elated. But ASU overachieved. That's what happened. ASU overachieved.
Yeah.
In their second season, they overexceeded expectations. And in this day and age of social media, of everyone wanting instant gratification, when you overachieve, that immediately becomes the standard now. That becomes your standard. And now that's what Kenny Dillingham has to deal with, for better or for worse. And Kenny's shown that
it's achievable. It's doable. It's obviously it's hard to replicate it every year, but it is doable. we don't know where they're going to be bowling yet. We think it's going to be the Sun Bowl in El Paso just from the projections and reading tea leaves. It would be New Year's Eve against an ACC opponent. We'll find out this weekend who or where they will officially be going. We did find out yesterday 12 players earned all Big 12 honors,
Yes.
honored, highlighted first-team players Keith Abney, Jordan Tyson, and Raleek Brown. No surprises there. It'll be interesting to see what this team looks like once we get to whatever bowl game they're going to. I would assume that Jordan Tyson will not play, more because of the injury than anything else, but also probably preparing for the NFL draft. Will Keith Abney play? Is he going to the draft? We don't know about that yet.
Keith Abney has a big decision to make.
A big decision for him. And so far, only 2 players have officially announced that I know of, Tate Romney and Joey Sua, the offensive lineman, that they're in intentions to enter the transfer portal. So there's also just other guys to keep eyes. Clayton Smith is a guy that is going to probably test NFL. I mean, he's out of eligibility, so test NFL waters. Justin Watley today, he's out of eligibility, but obviously he posted today he's excited for the draft process. 28 seniors, as you mentioned earlier. How many of those guys are going to, just because of the way bowl season is now, how many will play in this bowl game? We don't know.
Dude, here's another thing. Is like, if honestly, a lot of those guys look deep down, a lot of them are going to realize like this might be their final game ever in playing football.
No, that's true. That's true.
So I think a lot of these guys need to look deep down and like, yes, they can keep having the NFL dream and they can still play in the bowl game and still have that NFL dream.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of them deep down need to look at the situation and be like, this might be the last football game I ever play.
And these guys love Kenny. I mean, and they love playing for this team.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a different, because some of the projections have said ASU and Clemson in the Sun Bowl, and those are 2 teams that just feel like they're going, 2 programs that just feel like they're going in different directions right now. And Dabo Swinney's still trying to adjust to the transfer portal and everything like that. I would imagine Cade Klubnik and stuff would probably opt out, their quarterback for Clemson, if that was the game. The opt-outs, if ASU had some, I wouldn't take it, as a personal, if you're a Sun Devil fan. I think it's just the business of college sports nowadays. But we will find out this weekend where they are going, where they will be going bowling. Also, since we are Fox and I'm a big soccer guy, Team USA Group D in the World Cup draw today. They will play USA, Australia, Paraguay, and then the winner of a 4-way playoff to get the final spot in Group D in the group stage of next summer's World Cup. You'll be able to watch that on Fox. Had to get that plug in there because, like I said, it's on Fox and I'm a soccer guy. So selfish for me to end the show that way.
Shout out football.
Yes, some football. All right. For Robby Baker, Blake Niemann, thank you for joining us on